you very much.
I'm Ian Shrewsbury and welcome to Top Car Rally Hour. Round 2 of the Sasol Dual Fuel South African Rally Championship, the Total Rally of South Africa, kicked off at the Swartkops Raceway west of Pretoria amid a carnival atmosphere. With the rally doubling up as the opening round of the FIA African Rally Championship, the field included 9 entries from Namibia, Zambia and Zimbabwe, which meant that a healthy turnout of 57 teams had entered the 3-day event, promising exciting action throughout the field. The Total Rally has become renowned for its spectator-friendly nature, and this year was no different. Spectator entertainment embraced face painting, air displays, meeting and greeting the Morocco Swallows football team, and gymnastic demonstrations. With me on this event is Top Car's Deon Skuman.
Deon, it's a long rally. It's going to be a really interesting rally, I think.
Obviously, I think a lot of eyes will be on this event because obviously the first one, which was down in Natal, it was a season opener, a lot of unproven machinery there, a lot of vehicles actually not finishing the event itself. And the guys and I had a bit of a chance to relook some of the preparation, get the cars going. Serge Damso, for instance, I'm sure will hope that he's got a much better machine than last time around. And of course, being a long event, reliability, strategy, those issues also come into play. It's always a very interesting but also a very tough event.
And obviously starting in favourites, Jannie Havik and Douglas Judd, they won the championship the last 2 years and they won the first event of the year. They have to kick off as favourites.
I think so. It's quite obvious. I mean, just psychologically, Jannie very at home now with that vehicle, and obviously also quite comfortable with being in the lead and running from the front as he so often does. So he's clearly going to be the danger man that a lot of other people are watching.
Everyone's going to go pretty hard from the beginning, I reckon, but we'll be in the mix. We're not going to try and leave the guys behind, so I think we're going to stick in the mix, and maybe day 2 or day 3 decide what to do.
Any new and interesting roads out there? I believe the route has changed quite a bit.
It hasn't changed that much. We're using basically the same area, so the lie of the road is very much similar to last year. I don't think it's really new as such, but definitely very tricky.
And obviously your teammate's going to be strong opposition as always, but Johnny Gemmel's in the mix this time around, and Fernando Rueda is confident that his Mitsubishi is going to be right up there. Do you think, where's your biggest threat going to come?
No, I think, we mustn't confuse the Africa Championship guys because the regulations are quite different to ours. So excluding Johnny, I think the specifications on his vehicle doesn't comply with our regulations. In terms of the local guys, I think A8 Serge definitely is the old hand at the game, and he knows how to play these tough events. So I think Serge is the one to watch.
Another N4 competitor really confident is Fernando Rueda. He's got a brand new car just arrived from Rally Art in the UK. He's obviously going to be a strong contender.
I think he's obviously looking very confident, very pleased with his new car. We saw a lot of growth last year from somebody who used to really turn his car over at just about every event to somebody who could lead a rally. The car looks stunning, and if he gets his strategy right and if he doesn't get too excited, he's definitely going to be one of the people to watch.
Yeah, the car is very good. We've done quite a bit of testing. We've done about 170k so far. It's power-wise very much same as the last one, but the diffs and the suspension, the traction, it's fantastic. So, I'm very optimistic. I think we've got a great chance of winning the rally, and that's what we're going to try and do, obviously.
Now, obviously, the longest event of the season, also the first round of the Africa Rally Championship. Your tactics, are you going to hang back, or is this going to be a sprint from the start?
I think, unfortunately, there's no time to hang back anymore. Everybody goes from the start. So the plan is to go, and then once we get into the very long stages, then try and go clean. So maybe we'll go slightly slower through the very long ones, the 50k stages, and see where we are after that. But we're certainly not going to let them get away. You can't afford it anymore. Everybody goes from the start, so we've got to go.
Johnny Gemmell, we didn't see you in the first event. Happy to see you back in the fray, so to speak. Is this a debut in the Africa Rally Championship, or is this a start of a South African Rally Championship onslaught?
No, we just, the first one we missed, we couldn't get any sponsorship together, so we decided let's go and do this one, but we're not going to go up into Africa and do those again. That's quite a mission. But having done it last year, it was well worth it. And for the rest of the season, we'll just take this one as it comes and see.
Now, there was talk pre-season that you were actually going to leave Subaru and that you were trying to get together a Mitsubishi package. What happened?
Yeah, I won't elaborate on that anymore, but we're driving a Subaru at the moment, so we'll make the most of it.
Now, this is an event that's been very good to you. How are you going to approach it?
Yeah, it's a long event, but last year up in Africa we did similar events, tough roads and long distances. But this is a long event, and there's some long stages, so you got to be careful in some places, eh?
You weren't part of the national championship last year, obviously, but you obviously looked at who was doing what, and looking at the field around you, who are the danger men?
Same as last year or the year before, the Volkswagens and Toyotas, the A8s, Fernando, Skalkberger, and the A7s have been upgraded from last year. I went down to watch in Durban. They were really flying. So I think any one of maybe 10, 12 guys can win this event.
Greg Godrich were first to be flagged away by FIA representative Surinder Tati. Stage 1 was a spectator-friendly 10.82-kilometre blast around the Swartkops race and karting circuits. The tight and twisty nature of the stage did not suit the heavy four-wheel drive cars, but Gemmell didn't put a foot wrong and set a good time. The L&J plant Subaru Impreza was running to FIA Group A specification, which allowed for a larger 34mm restrictor than the Group N4 specification cars. The Subaru crews enjoyed the support of a large fan base at Swartkops, and next up were former Africa Rally champion Skalkberger and Vito Bonafide in the Bridgestone Subaru SA Group N4 Impreza. Berger turned in a stage time of 2 seconds faster than Gemmell. Jannie Habig and Douglas Judd in the Class A8 Sasol dual-fuel Volkswagen Golf were third into the stage. The nimble two-wheel drive Golf was much better in the tight stuff than the four-wheel drive cars, in fact reflected in the stage times. Having won the opening round of the championship in KwaZulu-Natal, Habig and Judd were confident of putting in another good result. But the long, tough nature of the event meant that getting the car to the finish was the priority. It also explained why Habig, despite his spectacular driving style, was not pushing the Golf to the limit. Stages such as these count for very little in overall rally terms, but the smallest error can end a team's event very quickly. Fourth on the road were Enzo Kuhn and Guy Hodgson in the second Class A8 Sasol Volkswagen Golf. After retiring from the first event of the year, they had the bit between their teeth and set the fourth fastest time. This stage saw competitors completing several laps of the main track before switching to the karting circuit, which resulted in more than one car in the stage at a time. With Habig hard at work, teammate Kuhn joined the circuit right behind the sister Golf, offering excited fans the unique opportunity of seeing the cars go head-to-head in track racing fashion. Serge Damso and Robert Paisley had a torrid time with the handling of the new Class A8 Castrol Toyota Runex in the first event of the season. But hard work by the team in the interim cured the car's tail-wagging ailments, and it took a liking to the smooth surface of Swartkops. Damso shared joint fastest time with the Etienne Lawrence Team Total Toyota Corolla. Lawrence and Andre Vermeulen dearly wanted to give their sponsor a victory in the Class A7 Corolla on its big event. They kicked off in great fashion, setting equal fastest time. Not so fortunate were JP Damso and Kobus Frey, who shunted their Team Total Corolla into the barriers on the first lap.
What happened? Way too quick, eh? Way too quickly. Yeah, no, I don't think we're going to carry on now, eh?
A sheepish Damso Jr. was left to rue the price to be paid for pushing too hard on the short spectator stages.
That's rally.
What happened, Ron?
I think the gears are just locked solid. I don't know, there's no gears left in the box. Maybe a small problem, maybe a big problem, but that's motorsport.
The Verlaque sisters, Lola and Megan, enjoy their rallying. Having upgraded to a Subaru last season, they put in some consistent performances and continue to learn. Megan, who wrote matric last year, navigates for the Rally Chicks team, while Lola is behind the wheel. They were keen on a good start to the event, but pushed too hard and spun the Subaru harmlessly before gathering it all up and continuing on their merry way. Keeping it on the tyres not always easy. Here Stephen Putter and Calvin Flockhart get things wrong in the ex-Martinez Breas Class A5 Volkswagen City Golf. They would make amends by performing very well throughout the rally.
Etienne, the first event of the year, you went really well and opened everyone's eyes with being right on the pace and leading the rally. Do you think you can keep it up on this event?
Probably not a wise idea because it's a long event, long stages and a bit of rough, so to go out full out will be a bit stupid. And answering on your last event, my eyes were bigger when I crashed.
But you started off well on this event. I mean, you equal fastest, I think, at this point in time on the first stage as well.
Yeah, it's nothing to go by really. You know, these are little Mickey Mouse stages. I mean, you drive it like a go-kart, then you basically get the time. So it's nothing to go by. Early days, long way to go still.
So your strategy is going to be to take it sort of easy in the beginning and then pick it up later?
Yeah, I think to go out full out from the beginning won't be a wise move. Definitely not.
In the break between the two Swartkop stages, the Team Total squad was commissioned for a poster signing and greet the fan session. It went down well with the supporters, while the drivers and navigators had a brief glimpse of superstardom. We travelled on board with Lawrence for the night stage, the same as the opening test, but this time with the direction reversed. It wasn't as easy as in daylight, and Lawrence was using the entire track and some grass as he threw the car around the track. His efforts were good enough for equal second fastest time with chief class rivals Jürgen Fecken and Dave Levkovitz in the Class A7 Sasol dual-fuel Volkswagen player. Damso Senior was once again fastest by just 3 seconds in the Toyota. At the end of 2 stages, the results for day 1 show that the two-wheel drive cars continue to dominate as expected. The evening ended in the form of an impressive fireworks display.